Finally getting into some movies and staying indoors, getting back to all of our fall activities, including baking and, yeah, movies on that list too. Now, we did see a weekend of record heat, just incredible numbers that we reached in the middle of October here. And that continued all across the month. Still tracking some smoke too, as you can see out to Vancouver there. We do have smoke in place and some moderate air quality. I'll show that in just a minute here. 52 degrees in Portland. We'll likely see some clouds rolling in and we'll hover in the low 50s the rest of the morning. Air quality right now, we have seen a few improvements here, back in the moderate to good category for most of the valley. Same for areas of Clark County right near that NAKIA Creek fire. If you're closer in proximity, likely a lot denser smoke out there and unhealthy air, but the majority of the valley seeing some improvements here from our very smoky weekend. Now, in terms of the NAKIA Creek fire in Clark County, thankfully we are expecting wind speeds to really back off. We saw that east wind event over the weekend where the size of the NAKIA Creek fire went from about under 200 acres to over 2,000 acres. So it just exploded in growth, all because of gusty winds. Some of those ridges saw wind speeds around 40+ miles per hour. So nice to see the forecast today with these winds below 10 miles per hour. And also the direction matters too. Those winds coming out of the northwest here will bring in a lot more moisture, relative humidities bumping up. And that always helps to suppress some of those fires out there that we still have going, the Cedar Creek fire and also the NAKIA Creek fire. Take a look at relative humidities going into our day today and also Tuesday. They're closer to about 50 to 60%. So a lot more moisture out in these areas here. When we see these relative humidity percentages down to about 30%, that's when we start to get a little worried here, and a lot more of that fuel for fires to burn. The forest lands are just much drier. So thankfully these numbers are bumping up here. Now, in terms of smoke, we will still see a lot of smoke here in the region these next couple of days. Today, a little bit of improvement here as these winds start to push in from the west. So a lot of the smoke shifting out towards the mountains. Again, near the Cedar Creek fire, we'll still see a lot of smoke out in Lane County and also Clark County and scooting into Skamania County out in the gorge here. Likely a lot of smoke still setting up. So smoky skies out towards Hood River, out in the area of the NAKIA Creek fire. Then come Tuesday and Wednesday, likely bringing in a little more smoke as those east winds ramp back up here. So we will still see some smoke and hazy skies even in Portland going into the week. But today we'll see a cooler day back in the mid 60s here for the coastline, avoiding the 80s, which we saw yesterday. Low 70s in Portland today. We may see a few morning clouds and some patchy fog and a partly sunny afternoon. Now, in general, we're still expecting a full dry week here of weather, warm conditions too. This high pressure ridge still in place, and that is going to keep temperatures above normal back in the 70s and likely a dry week. But come late Friday night into the weekend, we start to get this dip in the jet stream, and that is our cue to see fall weather back in the picture here. So upper level troughing this time as cooler air rolls in. A few systems will likely bring our first soaking of the season here. These forecast rain totals will still adjust, so don't take this again as what exactly we will see here, but possibly around an inch of rain in Portland. And again, these numbers will again adjust and become a little more accurate going into the week here, but through the weekend we could see maybe over an inch of rain in Portland. So our first soaking of the season, cooler highs back in the 50s also in the forecast here. So finally getting some fall-like rain by the weekend. But until then, enjoy the 70s and the 80s here. We'll still see a dry and sunny week until we hit this weekend rain. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, Kelly.